What up guys, BLNA here. Now, some of you have asked, you don't know how to set up your Midi, etc. You've had a few problems. Just going to show you a quick little video. So what you want to do is, you want to start by not opening your software if you're using Ableton especially, because it will not detect the settings that you have, any Midi that you've turned on after you've opened the application. So we're going to run this as if we were running from default settings. So let's turn it on. Just to be start, we've got our Midi plugged into our Midi out. Make sure it's in your Midi out, not your Midi in. So it should say out, Midi through, and our power cable obviously. Now, if you don't have a Midi capturing device, which basically means you plug your Midi in, then it goes from there to your computer, get a USB, Midi to USB cable. They're pretty cheap, you can buy them off eBay. About 10 to 20 bucks. Now, you're going to start by turning it on, and you'll get the little load up screen saying, yay, look what I have, la 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 la. Alright, and it'll tell you what you've actually got. I don't know why it tells you what you have, because it's pretty fucking obvious when it says it here. Anyway, you'll load it up. First thing you want to do, system setup. It's this button down here, just here that I'm pushing now. And what will come up on your display is Midi channel. And by default it's set to 1. Now if you've got other applications like I do, I have a called Chronos, you want to set this to another channel that's not in use. So I've set mine to 2, so we can set that to any number we want, all the way up to 16. So 16 different channels. So we'll go to 2. Alright, then we want to go to this button here, which is next page, drum level in. Now we just want to leave that on 1. Just leave that on V1, okay? Drum out on note. Now this will come up, it'll say note 36 and it'll say C1. Just leave it on that. That's major C. We want to leave it on major C. We don't want to change anything unless you feel like you want to later when you understand what it's going to do. If you understand what it's going to do, go for it. So then it'll say clock in, and we want to set that to on. Clock out, just leave that on off. Midi through we want off. Alright, we don't need that. Unless you're using something that requires, now I'm not even going to get into that. So most of you won't need to use that for the application that I'm using it for right now. You won't need to use that, so we'll leave it at off. Program change, set it on. Tempo, now tempo per pattern, tempo per global. Global means that you set a tempo and it's going to stay throughout for the whole time you have it turned on. Tempo per pattern means that every pattern is going to go by the tempo it's preset. Now I'm going to set it to global because I like to have my tempos for what I'm using it for. I want to have it so it matches with our Benton, so there's no problems with release times, etc. Note map, we'll set the note map to normal. There is of course different settings and you can go through those in your own time. Set mode, manual or pattern, just leave it on pattern. LEDs, as you can see, that'll turn the LEDs on or off. We want them on. Backlight, now most of you will say, hey, that backlight looks dim at the moment, and it is. I've set it to 8. You don't want to run your backlight on full. If you run it on full, what's going to happen is that your backlight is going to give you, it's going to use up, obviously it's going to use its full power, and it could burn out. Like, just to extend the life of your backlight, you want to make sure that you just set it about 8. You can use 9, you can use 8 or 7. Just set it to that to give you a better long life, make sure that nothing happens. Alright, now we're going to skip the next few. Battery level, you don't need to know that. Low battery, memory free. Last one, send Midi out. Now this is important. Now you'll notice that as soon as I did that, this button lit up. Now the record button is your do it button, as it calls it. So it'll say do it on it, just there. Now what we want to do is, before we send out this Midi, we want to hold save, which is this button here right next to the do it button, and the screen will say save setup, and I'll push the do it button, which will make it save, and it'll say setup save. We can release that. Now what we're going to do, record, we're going to push the record button or the do it button, and we're going to send out that Midi signal. Alright, so now it's sending out a Midi signal. Now I do that every time I open up the setup. So even though it's saved, I just go in there, open up the setup, send Midi out, start. Alright, so now I'm ready. Alright. So I'm going to set my tempo to 94. Now let's open up our Benton. Alright? Alright. So here it is. Click that. Close that. Give it a few seconds. I am moving some files on my computer, as you can see, so it might take a little bit of time just to open up Ableton. Just gotta manage some space on my phone. Yeah. Okay. Now, there's a confliction with my drivers, obviously, because I am using this for something else, etc., etc. So it's getting anal. So I'm just going to set it to my default drivers built into my laptop for my laptop speakers. Now, what you've noticed is, look, see this? See how the all channels is working? Now what we want to do is we don't want it on all channels, because if we're using another MIDI file, what's going to happen is they're going to overlap. So you'll see that it's on channel 2 just as we set it. I'm going to click channel 2 just to make sure that nothing overlaps. Now you want to click the record button and you'll notice this will come up. Alright, that's the MIDI signal that you're sending from pushing these keys. Velocity will change the amount. See how when I smash it down it goes higher? Let's just say that's velocity. Let's pull out a kit that they've already used. Now, personally, when I do something like this, I like to create my own stuff different ways. I don't just like to use the same kits over and over again, etc. That's lame. Don't do it. Same as the presets in here. They're good fun to play with the presets if you're trying to nail a quick track, like the freestyles that I don't actually produce the tracks for. If you're just trying to do something quick, like, it's simple to do something like that, and that's why I upload those kinds of tracks, because I can do those in an hour. That includes uploading time, and if that would have lyrics maybe an hour 30 in 2 hours. Right, normal tracks would take me about 6 hours, including recording time, etc., to get everything, all the acoustics right, etc. So, like I said, you make something yourself, you put that time in. I feel more satisfied when I do it, so should you. It's something that's satisfying, you know that you've made it, and you're basically not a cheat cunt, like, you're not ripping off someone else. So, for this example, I'm just going to use a preset, just to show you that it is sending MIDI out, etc., but I'd prefer it if you guys did watch some other tutorials, how to use the machine, use your fill-ins, everything like that, use your pattern, your personal patterns, etc. And like I said, if you save those patterns in here, you can use those patterns later in your own songs. They are your patterns, and they'll give you a different sound because you're using different samples. Now, let me just turn up the volume, because as you may know, I did have to switch my drivers. Alrighty. Give me one moment. Just setting up some stuff. Okay, now hopefully you can hear that. You should be able to. So, alright, now you can see those playing here when I push these up. The way that I do it, I prefer to have my snare here. So then it's snare. So, let's say you've done it like this. That's a good setup for a song that's slower. Faster. It's just simple accessibility. Now, the biggest thing is setting those up on these lines. Right? Now, this is where your sampler is, okay? It says drum kit, but you can use this as a sampler if you really wanted to. You could drag any motherfucking sample you wanted into here and you could play it. You can put your mapping in, your effects, etc., etc. Like, alright, let's say I want to use a... No, I do not want to use anything. Alright, what's this? Let's go to something. Sampler. Synthetic bass. Alright, I'm not sure. Alright, yeah? Synthetic bass sound. Synthetic bass sound. Now you won't be able to go up and down octaves. It'll just give you that C. Alright, so see how it's in C1? That's going to give you a C1. drag it back down. Now let's drag it up. And theoretically speaking, it should get loud, it should get higher in pitch. It might not for this sound because of the fact that it is a unusual electronic bass, but anyway, like I said, if you don't have anything and you want it, that's good for different sort of things. Like there is an option for that actually on the thing with its own preset, so it's a good thing to use and get used to. See, notice how it's switched up here now for the synth. Anyway, we'll switch back to drums. And now this is what I wanted to show you. Make sure you click your little, which track you're working on, etc. Alright. Play. Now we decide to do extremely big. And you see what I mean? Like, that takes nothing. You've got to be. You haven't really put your own personal, like your own personal twist into it, but that's basically it. That's all you have to do to get your MIDI to work, guys. It's straightforward. It's easy. If you have any problems, feel free to send me a message if you're still having any problems. And remember, the most important thing, like I can't tell you for those people that might be new, if you have done this and like you're having problems, you're getting really stressed out, just calm down, because I've actually like done the stupidest shit, not gotten pissed off because my shit's not working. And why? Well, it was because one, either the MIDI cable wasn't plugged in properly, two, I opened up Ableton after I turned it on, or three, I simply just forgot to plug in my MIDI interface USB, and makes you feel like a fucking idiot. But it's better than doing what I've done and smash some stuff. So just chill out. Make sure that you're running with your own stuff. Work on your own shit. Like I said, I upload some stuff to YouTube, like my freestyles, just to show that it doesn't take much to be a poet. It takes more to be a poet and a producer than it does to just write down lines. Like, you can write anything fucking down in like 5 minutes. I know people that can't even rhyme, but they can still write down stuff. It might not be good, but they can still do it. That's the point. You want to make yourself unique. Anyways, guys, I hope this helped you out. And, yeah, just take a few of those tips. Now, what you can also do, I'm just going to swing the camera over here. Record using your new samples in here. Record those if you have an audio capturing device like I have there. Then we can take those audio capturings, we can capture them in there, put those in the drum tracks, and then record it using this, using different samples that we've done, using different patterns that we've done. That's basically all I have for you guys today. Anything else you need, feel free to just inbox me. And, okay, go away. And yeah, I hope this helped you guys.